Hey, what is up guys? GuitarRock here, welcome back to another Brown Dust 2 video. Now first up, thank you to everyone for watching the videos. Appreciate it. For the past couple of days I've been working on a couple of guides, right? Definitely I'll have all of them released during the weekend, and this video is going to be much more of a Q&A, alright? I have been reading a lot of comments and I figured I want to make some videos because I don't want you guys to make some of these crucial mistakes, which is going to be very important. Hopefully I'll be addressing a lot of these questions moving forward by a lot of you guys that's been asking me. I managed to screenshot some so we can basically tackle it all at once, right? So first things first, a lot of you guys have asked me to do tier lists for this particular game. So let's talk a little bit more about tier lists and why for Brown Dust 2 it is going to be particularly difficult, right? So compared to a lot of other games, right, a character is going to be strong because of that particular character alone, right? And in Brown Dust 2, it is a little bit different because one character will have multiple costumes. So that makes it for a very difficult way to tier a character. So let me give you guys an example right now. So if I were to tier something like Sacred Justia, she's probably the best physical type DPS character right now for light type, right? So she's going to be very strong. She only has one costume, right? But someone like, for example, Later, that suddenly has like 10 costumes, right? I mean, not really 10, but he has like 5, right? Characters like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 costume. So each costume is going to be one skill of that particular character, right? So it is going to be much more complicated. So there are some characters that are strong if you have all the costumes, and one that I can say wholeheartedly certainly is going to be a Nebri, right? So she's really strong if you have all the costumes. Like if you only, let's say if you only have this costume, she's not that strong. But if you have all 3 of her costume, now she becomes like the strongest wind type DPS. So it is a little bit more complex to make tier lists because of that, because some characters have 1 costume, some of them has 5 costumes, some of them has 3 costumes, and some of them you will need multiple of their costumes. So which makes it a little bit difficult, but don't worry, I'll try to work on something and hopefully give you guys an idea of the meta of the characters right now, right? So Michaela is also going to be one of the few that I think is going to be in that ballpark. If you get all 3 of her costumes, she's like really strong, right? She's a beast, right? So that's pretty much what it is. So that's why making tier lists can be a little bit difficult. So there are some characters that if you have only 1 costume, their viability is not as high, right? So it is going to be always that factor. I think, like for example, if I say like Rafitia is a really strong character, right? But you can only have 1 of the costume, her support effect is literally cut in half, pretty much, right? Because you gotta have this one, you gotta have this one, right? So that you have the proper rotation in the bosses, in the Fiend Hunter, etc. So hopefully you guys understand the problem, especially for tier lists in this particular game, because characters are going to be much more complicated, right? And also, if I were to tier a character, right? Let's say some characters have 1 costume right now, they might add 1 more costume later on. That's going to be an issue in itself, right? So for example, one good example is Wilhelmina right now, right? So she recently gotten 1 more costume that improves her base costume even more. Now before this I was like, okay, she's just a slightly stronger, different variant of Hikage, but now she got 2 costumes. 1 more costume complements her, right? So you can see some characters, even though they are weak, they might be strong later if they release 1 more costume for that particular character. Like, we don't really know what's going to happen. That's going to be what it is with all of these character tiering and ranking as per usual, right? But hopefully I'll try to come up with something as soon as I can. Shouldn't be too difficult to let you guys know who is meta and who is the character that you are going to use a lot, right? So let's move on to the next question. This is something that I get asked a lot. Hopefully we address it in this particular video. I think this is the most important question, right? A lot of you guys were asking me about the 1 pick banner and the 12 pick banner, right? So in my previous video, I literally answered the, I recommend you guys to basically come here, alright, the newbie pass, you get these particular tickets right here, and then this is like a selector, right? You can basically use this right here in your bag. So you go to the bag, so now you get the one with the thumbs up for this one. You can basically use this to select the characters right here, right? So you are recommended to get B rank Adol Helena. I recommend Homunculus Later and Refitia as the second priority. Now, And then you want to go here, in conjunction to that, there's this 12 pick system that you can use to basically try to pull. Hopefully you get this particular roster of characters. So right now, this particular one are the recommended ones that I have for you guys. Now, a lot of you guys are wondering, why should I pull for this one over the one pick selective draw? Now, in my opinion, the one pick selective draw is a scam. Okay, but a scam is like pushing it too far, right? It's not really a scam. So why is it a scam, or why I don't recommend as many players to pull on this as much, right? Maybe if you're a veteran player, this one is going to be fine. But let's talk a little bit more about this, right? Now, the 12 pick selective draw, if you select the 12 characters right here, alright, when you pull, you are guaranteed to get one of these characters. Alright, you can click on the probability right here, you can see this is going to be the characters right here, right? It is going to be all the 5-star are going to be here, and then you have a chance to get 4-star whatever, right? So you are guaranteed to get one of these. Now the one pick selective draw, however, right, if you choose this character right here, I pick Blade right here, right, the chance of me getting her is 1.5% out of 3%. You can click right here, you can see, right? So it is going to be 1.5% rate up, and then the other 1.5% is going to be the other character. So basically 50-50, right? 50% chance to get her if it's a 3-star, 50% chance to not get her and get everyone else, right? The whole cast of the other roster. Now, unlike the Hoyoverse games or Wuthering Waves or any other 50-50 game, there's no guarantee, right? It's not like you pull once and then the next one is guaranteed. No. You can be here and spend 1,000 pulls, and if you're unlucky, you're going to keep losing 50-50. It has happened to me before. As someone that's like have done a lot of pulls, it can happen, alright? So that's something that you have to consider. Are you okay to gamble a little bit, right? Because if you only have one character and you really want to gamble that particular character, is this one better than the 12 pulls, right? So I feel like maybe, right, it all comes down to the luck. You can be lucky and just get it early on, but you can be unlucky and keep losing the chance to get and keep getting off banner after off banner after off banner after off banner, right? Again, happened to me multiple times before from experience, so I am aware of that. So you want to use both of these and be aware of the pros and cons. Now, the 12 pick selective draw, however, is going to be permanent as far as I know. Right here you can see it seems to be there's no timer on it whatsoever. Whereas for this particular one, the one pick here, this is an event and it says here it lasts for 82 days, right? So you can take that information with what you will, and you can select 10 costumes right here. So I still think that right now, these two places are the only place that you can use this new currency that we get, the selective exclusive draw ticket, right? That you obtain from the login rewards. You can also buy in some packages. So this is going to be the area where you can use this ticket specifically. So yeah, try to think carefully. I think for a lot of new players, generally this one is still going to be worth it. There's less gamble factor. If you get a 3-star, it is going to be one of these characters. I mean 5-star, right? It's going to be one of these characters. So I don't see why you want to gamble over on the one pick. I guess the one pick definitely is recommended for. I guess this one favors the veterans more. Alright, if you are a veteran player, you don't have as many you already have a lot of characters +5, then this one is better. But if you're a new player and you're starting out, I think trying to get a roster of a bunch of characters is going to basically be much more favored. So in that case, this one is going to be the one, right? So that's pretty much the difference between these two banners. Otherwise, for every other banner, it's going to be quite similar along the way. So I understand that there's a lot of banners here, right? There's like 500 banners right here, so it can be a bit confusing, but generally this is going to be for the selective draw. And I think one more question that coincides with the not this particular one, but not this one as well. Where is it? Yeah, this one as well, right? So I need advice, please, as a new player, what banners I should be pulling for right now, or if I should be saving for the next banners. So right now, in my opinion, if you are looking to pull only one banner and you can afford to get only one, I highly recommend this particular one. So the swimsuit Therese, the beachside angel Therese, poolside party Justia is free, one copy. You get one copy for free. How do you get one copy for free? You come here to the story pack, scroll down. There's this thing called the summer night pack right here. You play this particular on normal, right? You can see you get one copy of her for free. So play this particular one. This is a limited event, right? So you are going to be able to obtain one of that for free. So as for the Therese, I highly recommend you to get her because she's going to be a strong character. Now, I heard that she is going to be available later on as well in August. She will have her banner rerun later on. Now, should you wait for later, right? I can't give you advice based on that because I don't have any information of what will happen later in August. What if they got a collab afterwards? What if they got more limited characters that comes neck in neck with her later on? So if you have the resources to get her now so that you can pull someone else later, I don't see why you want to wait for later. But I guess there's some sort of comforting factor, right? There's not as much FOMO that you have to get her now if you want to get her later on the second rerun. Ideally, it is going to be definitely worth it. I'll make a separate video on why I think she's still strong in the meta, and then hopefully give you guys a separate idea. But for now, she is going to be the one that I recommend a lot of players pull for, especially if you have her other two costumes. Her weapon, don't worry about it. She's a supporter, don't worry about it. As for Wilhelmina, she's a fated guest character. I get it that you want to get one copy at least for the fated guest, but you can get one copy. I did the testing yesterday. You guys can see that it's about 15-20% damage depending on the rotation and stuff over her base costume. So this one, you're still going to need your base costume, right? If you don't have the base costume Wilhelmina, getting this is not going to give you that much of a damage, right? Her base costume is still going to be the one that is going to be the main damage dealer, right? So keep that in mind generally. So let's talk about the last one, the last question. I think that a lot of people have been talking about is going to be this particular one, Diana versus Helena. This is something that people have been Diana for better than Helena. Base Refi is trash without wedding. So let's talk a little bit more about Diana. I think a lot of players are very confused regarding Diana and of course Helena and stuff, right? Ideally, when I make videos, I try not to go into too detail, but I guess if players ask me, then I think it's going to be something that I would love to talk about, because especially for a character and understanding how their kit works, right? So what is Diana all about? Just so you know, you are going to get one copy of her for free from the story. Alright, if you play through the story, I believe in chapter 9. I could be wrong on the number of chapter, but you get one of the pack, you basically beat it, you can get her for free. Now what she does is she gives you a couple of things called property damage boost and crit rate. Crit rate is strong, right? In universal situation, she's going to be very good. Property damage is going to depend on a lot of situations, alright? So property damage is strong if you are fighting Fiend Hunter or guild raids. Okay, so let me clarify. I don't recommend Diana as much for new players compared to Helena and Rafitia because their buffs are much more universal. So when you go here, so usually for Brown Dust 2, I would say the end game or like the end game rotation for a lot of players is going to be the Fiend Hunter, right? So Fiend Hunter is going to be something that you basically fight the boss right here. You can see that this current season the boss is fire, right? So you can basically plan, if you use a water character, your water character does more property damage. So Diana is strong because you know the enemy, right? Because in this particular Fiend Hunter and in guild raids, you basically do that. Diana is going to be very strong right there for endgame. But for beginners, for newer players, how strong is Diana? She's not that useful in the story, which you want to try to focus to go through, right? She's also not that useful in a lot of other contents like the evil castle right here, alright, which also if you want to tackle that, because the enemies that you fight is not going to be, you don't know who you are fighting, right? Especially in those campaign packs, you don't plan along with the elements. So that's where Helena comes in, because Helena gives crit rate and magic attack. So you build a magic team surrounding her, and then you breeze through the entire campaign. I will give you guys a better recommendation on team building in a separate video. So hopefully you guys stay tuned for that, right? But ideally, that's why Diana is not as recommended for new players. She's mostly just for bossing, alright? If you're talking about general content, I don't recommend her as much. You're not going to use her in other situations, and also she's very position dependent as well. You have to place characters in a crosslink to her cross tile, right? To basically get the buff and stuff. A lot of characters like Rafitia and Helena is going to be much more universal because they give you universal buff. You don't decide based on the enemy, you decide based upon your team, which is going to be much more useful in a lot of situations. So Helena in this case, wait, why is mine dead? she gives a magic attack, and she gives crit rate, and she also heals. So she does 3 things, going to be very, very useful. As long as you're bringing magic characters, they're always going to get the boost. Same goes for Raphithia. Because Helena gives crit rate, I recommend Raphithia because Raphithia gives you this other one. She gives you crit damage, right? You can see right here. She gives you back the SP as well, and she gives you the barrier. So she does a lot of things, and both characters complement each other. So it is going to be a better... I think Raphithia is just a better Diana in most cases. Diana, while she does give a lot of property damage, Raphithia also has this particular costume that does that, right? So this is going to be what it is. So Raphithia is, in my opinion, and also Raphithia is going to get one more costume, right? Coming out, I believe, next week. That's going to be something to consider. So hopefully that answers that particular question. Alright, so this video is getting a little bit too long now. I'm going to end now for the time being. By the way, if you guys are not aware, if your character die, you can basically go to any of the story pack to try to sleep right there, right? Any of the story pack, you find the one with this particular symbol, the moon and the ZZZ icon. So you can go and sleep there to restore them if you guys are not aware already. Alright, so you can pay some money. So you can see here, 900 gold. Okay, boom. So now your characters has respawned. Okay, so they are no longer fatigue. Where's my Helena? Okay, she's right there. Alright, so that is going to be it for this particular video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And again, if you guys have any more questions regarding Brown Dust 2, you can either type it in the comment section below. If I read it, hopefully I read it, right? I'll try to read some of the comments, but some of you guys might be watching the video 2 weeks or 3 weeks from now, right? And also, you can join the Discord. Links are in the description, or you can tune in to my Twitch channel. I do stream there occasionally. Alright, so that's going to be where it is. You can ask me anything right there whenever you catch me live. Alright, even if I'm not playing Brown Dust 2, feel free to just, you know, hop on in and just ask me when you see me, right? So with that, that's gonna be it for the time being. Subscribe, give this video a like. I'll see you guys then in the next one. Have a nice day. Goodbye.